What's up guys, my name is Kaylee and I'm the Overdrive City Community Manager. And today we're going to be starting a brand new Let's Play series. We're going to take you along with us to build our automotive empire. Along the way, we're going to be talking about some tips, tricks, and general facts about the game. So let's jump right into it. You're going to start off in your very own city, where you're going to be able to customize it however you want. Want to build a shrine to your favorite brands? Or maybe just focus on racing? It's really up to you. You're going to be greeted by Gwen. Gwen's going to help you along the way when you build your city. And the first thing she's going to ask you to do is to name it. Now, it's important to get a name that's really custom to you, because that is how other players will identify you in the magazine or the leaderboard. So let's call ours MTL Overdrive, since that's where this game is made. It's Montreal. Then you're simply going to confirm it. Next thing you're going to want to do is build your logo. Now, you'll see this logo pop up a little bit everywhere, so let's find something that's really custom to us. So let's go with this one and maybe just a star for now. What's fun is that you can actually customize this whenever you want. You don't like your logo anymore? You can go back and change it, no problem. Same thing with your city name. So the first thing you're gonna do is enter the car center. You're gonna unlock your very first car. Zoe here is gonna tell you a little bit more about it, but let's start with this Jetta. So to unlock cars, you'll need blueprints. These blueprints, you'll use them not only to unlock a car, but also level it up. So let's welcome our first Jetta. Then you're gonna head off to the racetrack, where you're gonna start your very first race. Henry's gonna help you here along with the racing. You're gonna start off at level 1, which is really just a basic race. You're gonna select your car. For now, you only have one, and you're gonna race. So the racing in Overdrive City is very simple. All you do is press the button and let go when you wanna brake. And here we go. So you simply press the button when you want to go. And some interesting facts here is that you can look at the arrows on the floor. If the arrows are turning red, it's probably a good idea to let go. Now, there's different techniques that you can do with this. You can either keep pressing the acceleration button when you're turning, or simply let go of the game. Now, you're going, pretty fast, but you're only doing 2 rounds. Only 2 laps. So it's not going to last very long, which is really the benefit of this, is that you're not going to be stuck doing it too much. For the tutorial, you're only doing 1 lap, so it's pretty simple. And with this, you've unlocked 3 blueprints for a Nissan Skyline. You'll also unlock the auto race feature. This feature is great for those of you who are more interested in city building than the racing aspect. But keep in mind that auto race does not mean a guaranteed win. No one is as good as you. So if you don't succeed, try taking over the controls. Did you know that you can play across platforms? Sign in with your Facebook account and you can bring your profile with you onto any device. Now, moving on, we're going to show you a little bit more about racing against other players, but you're missing some keys. Now, the important thing about keys is that you're going to need them whenever you want to race in the career mode or trials, which you'll find out later. But to get the keys, you'll have to service other cars. And as you level up, you'll have even more cars at your garage to fulfill. So you have different options of how and what you want to use to get your keys. So since we've gotten a key, we're going to play one more time. So one thing to keep in mind when you're racing is that you're going to need a minimum PR to be able to work in the career mode. So to do that, you'll need to level up your car to ensure that you always reach the minimum requirements. To get that, you're either going to need to get parts from the city or blueprints themselves. So once that race is completed, you're going to be asked by Gwen to build your first industrial building. Now, like I mentioned before, these buildings are what's going to give you those parts that you're going to need. And you're going to need a lot of parts as you go along. An interesting trick here is that instead of dragging and dropping each individual tile, you can drag and drop to complete the entire line. This is going to become very useful when you have a bunch of different buildings. So see, here we have our Volkswagen Golf GTI, and it needs some bolts. So you service, you get a key, and we've already leveled up to level 2. It's going to tell you all the different things that you have available at each different level. And in case you're ever wondering what's coming up next, my next level, simply click the level in the top left corner and it'll tell you what gets unlocked at your next level. Now, we're asked to build another building. And what's interesting about the buildings is that you can kind of drag and drop wherever you want. So I'm just going to put it right here next to my other industrial building, and we can move from there. So collect your bolts, and you can simply drag and drop all the bolts you need. Now you can click the arrows at the top here to easily switch between buildings, and you can move on from there. So we have 2 cars that are ready to service, so you can either service them. You'll have to wait a little bit between each service, so don't worry. And if you need more keys, you just have to wait a few seconds. And if you want to see your calendar, simply go down, and we actually have a daily login calendar. Now, something to note here is that the calendar is not only dependent on how many days are in a month. If you don't come back tomorrow, you're not missing out on those 200 research points. You'll still get it. What you're actually missing out on is at the end, the day 28. So you want to come back every single day because you want to ensure that you get the entire calendar reward. You're not skipping at the beginning, you're skipping the end. So make sure to come back every single day. And what's interesting about this calendar is that the day 7 of each of the month, you'll get an exclusive reward. And each month that car is going to change. So even though you missed it this month, you may not get a chance next month to get it back. And one last tip and trick here is once you're done the entire city, you can clean up your city however you want it. So if, for example, you want it to be a snow city because you're living in a cold area, simply decorate by pressing and holding. Or maybe you want some water, you can get some water. It's really up to you. That's going to be it for now. Later, guys.